Hello there, everybody. This is Fearmy Games here with the next part of my Divide Didn't Pair a Kingdom of Cimmeria campaign. All of my campaigns seem to be a bit of a mouthful, honestly. If you guys remember last time, we marched south, we took Armavir from Colchis, and in fact, we even held it against them when they attacked with one of their armies. It was a weak army, only 15 units, but they're all healthy. While my guys are a little bit damaged from taking Armavir itself. But our victory was short-lived, as when the very next turn, after we successfully held out Armavir against this army, which is now very weak, we saw coming across the border 4 armies from Atropakan, deciding that it would be smart to fall back because Armavir garrison is still very wounded, even more so, I assume, after the fight with Colchis. So rather than risking our strongest army on trying to hold Armavir, I decided to instead fall back to Michetta with its big walls and the hopes that that will be a better place to hold and defend than Armavir. Fortunately, all the money I spent in upgrade and like building stuff is kind of going to waste, so I'm gonna try and destroy it if I can, but it probably will not work out. And meantime, while I sent this army to try to take out Trebezos, the reason why I want to take Trebezos is I want to try and destroy Colchis. I want to make sure that it's not a threat at all. That even if I lose this settlement, they'll just take it and won't have to worry about Colchis coming back, and I can just focus entirely on Armenia and their client state of Atropakan, which, funnily enough, is actually looking to be more of a threat than Armenia is, because we destroyed 2 armies of Armenia, actually 3 armies, I think. And now we have 4 of them, but instead of going one at a time, they are now coming all at once. Unfortunately, this army is not replenishing, and I can't go into forced march mode to get them into Michetta faster, so we'll just kind of have to live with what we got. So now where we left off is with this army, is currently encircling Trebezos. We decided to hold off on immediately attacking until we had time, and now is when we're going to go for the attack. This one will probably be harder than our previous ones. The reason why is instead of having entirely hoplites that are completely superior to the enemy, we have militias. We have more militia units than we did before. So this battle will be harder than any of our previous battles, I imagine. But if we could take out Colchis now, it will be a huge boon for us. So that's why I'm going to give it a shot. So they have some nice units on ships. Depending on how those ships kind of act will kind of determine how big of a threat they are. If they land on the shores outside of the town, then we'll be in a very good position to just punish them when they're small. And I'm expecting to be outnumbered, so I'm going to try and come from one flank. This is the nice big one. Less choke points. There's 3 openings here, which could honestly be good for me too. Oh, this one's more like one big one and a small one here. I think I'm going to try going for this one big one, because once I break through here, I can go down multiple pathways, which would be good to make use of my cavalry advantage. And phalanx units are very good at holding. Even militia units are not too bad. And I'm also going to send my militia units in first. The reason for that being, they're militia units. I want to make sure that I still have my hoplite units as long as possible, because they will make or break this battle. So I do not think they have anything that is equivalent to my hoplites. So I'm gonna get these guys into a small formation. I'm gonna get my hoplites to fill it out, the remaining bit. It's gonna be quite just wide enough to go into the center area here. Anything remaining, I'm gonna have do something else. In the meantime, we're gonna put up my archers over here. And what my archers will do is just do some nice amount of pew-pew fire. This is basically what my plan is for them. That means we have one more space for a hoplite to get into a nice formation. So who do we have remaining with 1 unit of hoplites? It looks like, no, these are not my hoplites. These are my light spears. These ones I want to try and send in around the flank if possible. Do this little narrow choke point and get around because they will be highly movable. And most likely what I'm going to do is with my remaining 3. So I'm going to move these archers around here so they can get fire up and over and into this back line in case there's any archers, or into the middle one if I need to as well. So it kind of be a bit of a best of both worlds. Meanwhile, I'm going to keep my baggage train near the front. That way they can help. They're not strong in melee in the slightest. They have almost no melee attack. But they're at least good enough for like keeping something occupied for a moment until something actually strong is in position to deal with it. We're going to have our main cavalry force, the one that are most damaged over here, our general and not general. This one I'm going to keep on this flank. The reason why is if the enemy lands here, I can send this cav out to deal with them. While these ones I can send around the flank here, if we're like occupied up here, these guys can go around and cut them in the back here. So kind of going for 2 flanking options. So I'm going to have these guys position more around here. I'm going to keep these guys into a group and lock the subgroups. That way they kind of march in the same formation. I like this formation. And then this guy, we're going to keep him a little bit more over here. He's eventually going to go around here, but I also want him to make sure he can protect these archers. I do not want them taken out, if possible. I think that's probably going to be the best formation for us. And is there any units I'm forgetting? No, but I'll move him over here just to be on the safe side. Alright. So it looks like they are primarily defending over here. They do have some units over here, a militia unit and a hoplite unit. It does look like the archers are looking to come in our direction here. So what I'm actually going to do with this force is instead of trying to go around the flank, I'm actually going to hold our own flank against these units here. I'm going to try to move the spearmen actually behind my archers. The reason why is I do not want any impeded fire to get kind of in the way. In the meantime, this one I'm going to move a little bit more back. This one move a little bit back here too. This general unit, I'm going to start walking here. They have 1 unit of spears, a militia unit on this side, but otherwise it seems to be mostly just citizens. But it looks like we will be able to attain this position on our own, unimpeded. So that's going to be good for us. Yeah, this is a sizable force. Even if it's not all that strong, it's sizable enough that I do need to keep a very close eye on it. Which is one reason why I have these guys kind of holding it there. And I'm going to pull off this 1 unit of hoplites off on here. That way I at least have 1 strong unit that I can kind of stand there. And I want these archers actually to move up a little bit. I want them to be close enough that they can actually punish the landings, but not close enough that they are able to fire back. I'm going to speed this up slightly, but I still need to keep an eye out to make sure the enemy doesn't move in a position I'm not expecting. You know, following that idea, I'm actually going to move these guys over here. Alright, these archers are not as close as I thought they would be. So I'm going to move them up a little bit more. And then following that idea, I'm going to also move these guys up more. I'm going to break off another unit here to assist. Yeah, there's no spears over here, so our cavalry will be actually a huge advantage. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm actually going to start charging in with my generals over here, keeping a close eye out over there. Now that they've all landed, my archers are doing a great job of peppering the enemy. I might not even need that second hoplite unit over here. Keep charging, men! Yeah, those archers are doing a great job of just like they deleted one of the enemy archers already. These guys aren't in position for some reason to actually attack these guys, so I'm a little bit worried about how well these spearmen are going to do. I'm going to move these guys outside of phalanx formation and start moving them to counteract what's going on over there. Ready for blood and battle! Alright, now that unit's being swarmed now. Perfect. I'm gonna follow this guy back now so that we get more rear charges. That was a really good cav charge by my general. Man, we caught these guys out with their pants down. Good for us. I'm gonna separate these guys out. It looks like our main force is almost in position. We're just gonna take it slow and steady. We're not too much in a rush. That's a very nice blob, in fact, for our archers. So I may kind of stop them a little early. We'll see if they start moving. It looks like the enemy is actually giving up this position and falling back as we're slowly winning it. We're gonna fall back our general because he is in melee right now with a decently unit, probably a phalanx unit. No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe this is not a. It's hard to tell what they are. We got a nice rare charge off. I thought I ordered my general to fall back. Who's this? Yeah, then who are you? Oh, I have my two shock cavalry still in the mix right now. That's what's going on there. Alright, these guys are doing a great job of just pew-pewing the enemy. I'm going to stop these archers from firing real quick. It looks like that did not turn a fire will like it does in other games. So it looks like the battle has actually begun up here. Archers are actually doing a great job of firing at the big targets here. I especially want them to fire at the general unit over there. If I can get all of these archers in this group real quick to just... Oh, never mind. I was about to have them fire into that big-ass blob, but the big-ass blob ended up moving. So it's something to not avoid then. I'm going to reposition these hoplite units that are in the back a little bit more forward. Especially as I imagine that this unit will need to be replaced soon enough. But it looks like we have won this flank, so it's time to start pushing up. And thankfully the ships ended up being useless for them. They kind of just threw them away for no reason. Looks like these guys are kind of... Looks like they're going to try moving forward, so I'm going to intercept them with these militias. It will put them a little bit more of a weakness against anyone coming at them from a different flank, but... Yeah, hold them off, guys. So you guys, I want you guys coming back onto this flank. Meanwhile, everyone else is moving up. You guys... Move up here. You guys go here. You guys capture that. I'm going to put this in this group, and you guys will hold over here, and we'll start slowly squeezing them. We just need to make sure our units over on this flank hold. So it looks like that unit broke, so now we can start getting a nice flank off over here. Archers are so far doing a great job. The enemy is starting to reposition themselves, so they do understand what the situation is. So that's why I need to make use of my cavalry a bit more than I have been. I can't quite get over there, so I'm going to get these guys to charge. My baggage train just kind of sitting here doing what, they're supposed to do is, exist. So yeah. We're holding here. We got this unit flanking. We got basically them in a big-ass ball right now. I'm not quite sure what these weird positioning is and stuff like that, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to move this guy up to start intercepting that unit. That light infantry is slowly being beat up by my militias. I do not want that guy actually firing, however. I want them firing over here, because they actually have a good angle into their backsides. Now my general's going to get that archer unit over there. I think these archers, honestly, not actually all that well placed. I don't think they have range. Yeah, they don't have enough range to get there. So I'm going to start moving these guys up more. It's almost... It is going to capture the Cav victory point. We are Cav. It's going to be able to kill those archers pretty easily on their own. Over here as well. I'd be surprised if anything bad happens. I do just need to keep a very close eye on how the archers are firing. Because they start firing at a weird angle that I need to deal with that ASAP. I should have them attack there, and then once these guys are in position, I want... What? Why are you guys... I don't want you to... I want you to fire. You guys have ammunition. Why is this... Why are these guys not giving me the option to fire? That's awfully strange. Guys, I don't know what's going on there, if I'm being entirely honest with you. It's very strange. Yeah. These guys broke, not too surprising. They're a bit outgunned, so makes sense that they did die off. These guys broke and are running away. I'm gonna order these guys just to hold there. They are starting to rout due to army losses. Yep, there we go. Victory is ours. We now have taken the last settlement of Colchis, unless they've taken something that I don't know about. Man, that was a lot easier than the game thought it would be. Yeah, that was the one that was holding the center. It did a good job of holding the center, which like I needed it to. These guys did a good job. You know, these guys are better than I give credit for. Not as good as the Phalanx, of course, up front. But they're a lot more mobile than my hoplites, which does add a little nice flexibility to my army. I do apologize if my webcam's a little dark. I don't know why. But I was having, like, it wouldn't work when I first booted up my OBS stuff. And I can't get the lighting to work as well as it used to. I don't know why. So I might be a little dark this episode. And also my frame's probably a little bit bigger than it was before. But, you know, we'll just kind of have to live with it. On the right side, you can now see my hands a bit better, I think. But for some reason, the lighting's just really off. And I don't know why. It's going to be like this for this episode, and also for the Byzantine Empire that I'm recording right after this. I basically Mondays is, you know, this video, and then Byzantine Empire. Fridays is Guild Wars 2 and Clan Angrund. Yeah, there we go. Nice, easy victory through superior strategy and unit movements. I could subjugate them, but I want to occupy. And my Imperium has grown. Now I can have increased amount of armies. And these are starting to replenish. Yeah. Now Trebes also be concerned to hold, because I do not know if Colchis Colchis shouldn't have any more. Yeah. They're starting to attrition because they don't have any settlements. They will probably attack Armavir when my turn ends, and I might not be able to hold it against them. It will depend entirely on... If Colchis goes first, they might be able to retake Armavir, because the garrison should be extremely weak. I might be able to hold, though. We'll be very close if we do. Temple of Hermes. I don't mind that. Okay. Yeah, these guys are going to start replenishing up. They'll be ready to go in about 2 turns for the most part, but this one in particular will need 4 turns. But I might be able to actually just recruit troops to replace them, which might be faster. So what I think I'm going to do is merge the two weakest units together, and I can recruit a better unit in its place. So Thorax hoplites seem pretty nice, but I need a higher reform level. There's a bit more unit variety on this one, which is kind of cool, but I can't use most of them, which is sad. Like Bosporan Heavy Union Spearmen would be kind of interesting. But yeah, but I need to be like further along in the campaign, I guess. I could go for another cavalry unit, because I am actually only have 3 cav instead of 4, like I do my other armies. This spearman consists of leather helmet and greaves and a long quilted linen tunic instead of leather cuirass of Greek corselet. The tremples have painted cords. Yeah. Alright, so these guys are almost like more like pikemen, I think, but very, very weak to arrows. These axemen are actually kind of was hoping to use spearmen were. Because I do want a good strong flanking unit. So these guys have more melee attack, but lower melee defense. Better charge, way better charge bonus. Way better AP damage. So these guys are going to be really good for flanking units, which is usually what I use those guys for. Do they have a movement? They have speed, yeah. Speed. So these guys are faster, though. So these guys are better getting to position, but these guys have lower armor. I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to replace my spearmen here with these guys. They're more expensive to maintain, but they are better. That's what I want them to do. I don't need more spears because most of my army is spears. So I'm going to disband these two. Then recruit 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then I want one more here. Perfect. It'll take 2 turns to do it, but it'll take 2 turns for my armies to replenish anyways. I'm going to scout here just see what the army situation might be. Looks like there is an army being built over here that will probably attack Trebizondes in 2 turns. Which will be, coincidentally, when I'm going to be ready to fight. Yeah, let's end turn and see what happens to Armavir. This will be an interesting situation. Because the longer it takes for them to attack it, the better it is for me. And if Colchis doesn't attack, then that's even better, because Colchis will be wiped out then. Because I would be surprised if they attack one of their friends. It looks like army. Yep. I'm gonna have to just wait. This is a very weak army that they put in. I might be able to kill this army and weaken them. I'm gonna fight this out because I'm 99% sure. Well, I won't win this fight because they're all fully in position. Like, you know, they're full health for the most part. But I think I can at least punish them for attacking in this way by at least killing a unit or two. You know, or at least weakening them. Because I can't put up a good defense. Just not against what they put forth. So where's this enemy reinforcement supposed to be from? It doesn't say. So I can't put forth barricades, I guess because I don't have a general. I didn't actually know. I thought I might be able to do a barricade, some stuff like that anyways, but... We're going to keep our general unit in the back as much as we can. And we're going to try to make use of the smaller choke points as well. You know, to reduce the impact of our weakened, our very weak units. So, even though we have less units, we're able to hold this entire flank here because of just having more units. Just having enough, like, weak units. Just like we kind of did before. There we go. And then this guy, I'm going to keep in the back in position because he is our general. We will lose without him. And these guys are going to be our closest thing to flanking units that we got. So I'm going to have these guys move over here and ready to just flank around if need be. Man, this will be kind of an interesting situation. This will be a situation where we're going to lose, but we're going to make them pay for winning. There's more units over here, but these ones have stronger units. So let's see what the AI decides to come down. So the AI is like comes here, gets a couple ARPA shots, does not lose anybody, unfortunately. But the AI, yep. So thankfully the reinforcements are coming from the same actually coming from a different direction. Never mind. I was about to say they're coming from the same direction. Never mind. It looks like they don't want to quite engage due to the situation that's going on. I'm going to start moving these guys out over here. It looks like these guys have javelins, which is why they're so they're staying back. But yeah, this is definitely a situation where the AI has actually been kind of smart, not just dedicating themselves to attacking quite yet. They chose to dedicate themselves a little bit faster, then I would be in a perfect position for just raffle stomping them. I kind of need to weaken this flank here in order to make it so I can hold. enemy general over there is charged in, but my target is actually this unit over here. Stop, General. And they're gonna get a good rear charge off on those militias, which is not good for them. Yeah, that's already gonna start breaking them. They're not too strong. But we are weakening this one unit over here. We've successfully broken it. As long as we can hold long enough for these units to just wipe them out, then this battle I will consider immediately a victory just by that reckoning. Because I'm not expecting to get many kills off with the weakened militia units. Yeah, wiping out that unit is good for me. Oh, looks like they actually have archers units over here. Yeah, that's game over. The general just broke, and yeah, and that goes most of the other units remaining. And the main forces arrived too, so game over there. These guys have been totally surprisingly long time. That unit looks like I just wiped out all of the remaining models, which means victory has been achieved in the kind of the way that I decided to do it. Might as well get a charge off here, see if I can weaken this general bodyguard at all before the end. They work flat-footed, so that should be a little bit of damage, but I doubt it's enough to kill whoever the general guy was. I mean, these guys are already breaking. A decisive defeat, but with that unit wiped out, puts us in a good spot. Well, I say good spot, but better than before, I should say. This good spot is not exactly accurate. Oh, stretching, sorry. But let me see, maybe I can fix it. I don't know why it's being so annoying. Now, I could do this, which is not perfect, but maybe makes it look a little bit better. I don't know why it's being so weird today. Maybe it's because I decided to put the white balance as automatic, which I think makes it look weird. Let me fix it real fast. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a bit better than it was before. Because I feel like it makes me look super pale, which I'm not actually all that pale. Oh, now I look super bright now. I hate it. I don't know why it's being this way today. It's being a little annoying webcam. It's like, just because I haven't turned you on since Friday doesn't mean that you should be whining. Okay, there you go. That's better. I'll just leave it at that. I won't touch it anymore. But yeah, Armavir was taken by Armenia, which is good for us because that means that Colchis is not taking it. And by Colchis not taking it, they won't come back as a faction, and I've officially eliminated one of my enemies. I will have a non-aggression pact with Pergamon, because I don't want to deal with them right now. I want to focus on the immediate war, and I also want to turn my attention northwards. I might just wipe out Saracena because they're being useless, and I kept them alive because they might be useful. They're being kind of the opposite of that. The whole army of Colchis is trying to move around, but if they attack Phasis, I should be able to defeat what remains of that army pretty easily. But, admittedly, if that army comes to help them, that'll be a bit of a problem. I was hoping they'd all be going towards Macheta, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. And if that happens, they might be able to, like, recreate Colchis by liberating them, you know? Which would be a problem. Yeah, I definitely need to make that... I can't afford another army is kind of the annoying thing. If I could afford another army, I would have already have one right now. But I've tried, and then I kind of ran out of money. I think what I'm going to have to do for this next turn is... Yeah, infantry recruitment. Is I'm going to... I can advance some of my settlement stuff. Let me check the... So Hellenic Colony is -7 food, bonus squalor, bonus grow, bonus squalor, reduced public order, more money from subsistence, lower banditry, more wealth, more this one, so more wealth. So this one's less wealth but better banditry. This one's more research, but way lower public order, bonus wealth. So this one's money, money, money. This one is a bit of a bit better balance. It seems it's the same exact number of recruits I get out of it. Slightly higher garrison for a Hellenic colony, and an allied polis. So this is even actually more money, but there's higher banditry and lower public order. So I think that's the one I absolutely do not want. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a Hellenic colony. But I do want to try to recruit a new army here. At least a kind of army if possible. Raise an army and cavalry, definitely. And it doesn't have to be a particularly strong one. I think I can only recruit like 2 units a turn, so it doesn't need to be even the strong one. So let's do. I wish I knew. If I could afford. Let me cancel this real quick. If I could afford. How many could I afford? So I can do up to 3 units a turn, and I'll probably do all militia. Which means I can't afford to upgrade that settlement, but I can upgrade these settlements. And I'm not against doing that. I'm tempted to get upgrade there. I want to see what I can upgrade. And so this one is a trade hub of copper, and this one's a fortified small town of copper. Difference is more money, less public order, less growth, but I get more copper resources. This one is more research rate. So basically, again, a more defensive versus non-defensive settlement. It looks like. I do like the lower recruitment cost for heavy units. This is also the one that's... I'm going to do this one. I'm going to make these 2 into trade hubs when I can, but this one is technically on the very edge of borders, and they might be attacked. So I'd rather have that one be a fortified town than make these ones the more rich towns. Architectural advances is done. So set prices is increased wealth. I do want that. Let's see. This one's just flat out more tax rate. I might go for legal document. I think I'm gonna go for legal documentation. I think that'll be valuable. And after that, I think I'll start going back into military training stuff. I definitely want the siege tower too. Okay. Alright, this unit's starting to replenish, so I'm going to fall back into here, and they should be replenishing nicely. This unit is going to be fully ready to go in 1 turn, and I'll probably go on the offensive with this army, attack Coron, though it kind of depend on what these guys are going to be up to. If these guys are being super aggressive, I'll need to be careful. I unfortunately did lose the resources of gold, but it's not the end of the world. Man, poor Garrison army was just wiped out. I'm surprised these guys aren't being more offensive. How many people these guys are only at war with me and these 2. They're not being very aggressive. That's something I'm quite surprised about. I'd imagine this looks like a pretty big faction, but they're not marching in here just wiping them out. They're just being like very calm and careful. It's very weird. I wonder if Seleucid will trade with me yet. Give me money. No? Okay. They don't want to give me money. Oh well. I kind of want to keep this for that, but no. I don't think this is very valuable to have here. But let's enter. Let's see what happens. One thing I've been doing for the fun of it that makes you, like, part of me is like, I don't want to stream, I don't want to record right now, is because I've been like just binging anime and reading books. Whenever when I'm not recording a lot of times, so I'm like, part of me is like, I'm home. This is my lunch break. I want a marathon because I started marathon watching One Punch Man season 2. It's like I've been kind of slow on doing that. Even though it's been a little bit out because I caught up to all the new stuff I wanted to watch. I marathoned all of what's currently out for Mochuko Tensei, a jobless reincarnation. I found that to be actually very fun to watch. I watched a reviewer I like to watch, and he kind of like painted as if this guy's a complete horrible person, but I'm like, this guy's definitely a perverted person, but I don't think he's particularly horrible in comparison to any like most like not most, but a lot of other protagonists. And so it's like, and I don't think he's that horrible. But the person was like, he's a pretty bad guy, which is going to be a really big problem for you if that's something that bothers you. I'm like, I didn't really notice a whole lot. He tended to be favored on the good side, even, in fact. Honestly, I really enjoy, it's definitely one of the best isekais I've watched in a long time. Well, not a long time. Because I'm also watching Log Horizon, which is also an isekai. Isekai is awesome. and Log Horizon, honestly, I'm loving Season 3 a lot more than I did Season 2. Yeah, this is a very weak army. They've come here to try and take it, but they will not be able to take it. Even with this very small garrison holding it. I'm going to scroll this down so you guys can read it. I'm not going to read it out loud because I think it'll take too much time. But you guys are free to read it if you so desire. It's the year in history 263 BC. Has births, deaths, and a little bit of stuff from the Roman Republic, Greece. So it's like a little bit, some historical tidbits and stuff like that. I can read it as fast as I'm scrolling down. But, some people, not everyone's as fast, not everyone's slow. So it's kind of like a thing like that. I want to upgrade this one, though, to more money. I should probably prioritize making this army a bit bigger. Can this attack in the next turn? It's hard to tell because it's winter, so they might be able to, they might not be able to. But it looks like I won't be able to upgrade the ones I want, but I can actually upgrade this one, so I might as well. So I'll bring Trapezos, because I'm not expecting to lose it anytime soon. Let me just check over here. Make sure there's no army up here planning to take Trapezos. Looks like there is actually a full stack over here near Coron. So I'm not going to leave Trapezos quite yet, because I do not want to take a settlement only to be immediately attacked by multiple armies. So we're going to hold where we are for now and just keep an eye on the situation. There's annoying amounts of agents sitting around here. And can I even assassinate any of them? 0% chance. 0% chance, right? 3% chance. Better than the other ones. Better than the other ones. How about you? 4% chance. Better. Yeah, this guy's not going to be able to do too much besides scouting for me. And that's basically what I've been having him do. Yeah, so there is an army incoming. It's a small army, however. Not one of the full stacks, which is good for me. One of the full stacks is going to Fazis. I think I should be able to Fazis pretty effectively. The AI is not exactly the smartest thing in the world, and my units by default are generally better than what they have. Though these hillmen are going to be pretty decent because they do have armor piercing damage. Well, and one of the strong points of hoplites is that they have good armor piercing. So yeah, one thing to keep in mind. Stretching. Yeah, the webcam. Look, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to ignore it. I have like my second computer right here that I can kind of see what I look like. I'm just like, so weird. I'm just gonna have to ignore it. Yeah, it looks like they have 2 armies incoming. But I think I can take them. I might not. I might abandon the walls. I think I'd probably be stronger off of the walls than on the walls. So I might just abandon the walls and hold the inner parts of the city. Maybe do like some of my weaker units on the walls just to slow them down, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's the army going to Trapezos. Thankfully, with what they're doing, they're giving me time to strengthen Phasis, which means it'll make it even harder for them to take it. Admittedly, militia are militia, but I think it's worth it. Looks like Sursana has started moving on to Samandar in terms of. So I wonder if they're at war with each other now and they're going to duke it out. I'm going to check. And more subversion. Yeah, they're doing a good job of attacking the garrison. There's not really anything I can do about it, unfortunately. What's nice is that while these guys are raiding me, they are slowly dying as a result. And this army is fully prepared to hold. And I'm not going to move out because there's no convenient bridge or anything like that I can hold here. So I might as well just wait for these guys to come at me while I just keep my army there. Phasis, meanwhile, I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing, and that is making militia hoplites to just, hold the settlements. They don't really need to do much more than that. Yeah, this army is fully replenished, but I do not want. I could attack them, but it's together. It's almost 2 full stacks, about 7 units off of 2 full stacks. And so I'd rather not attack them and put myself at a disadvantage when I can just wait. Now, this one seems to be an important unit because they have a fancy actually, they all kind of fancy banners on them, don't they? I guess I kind of have a fancy banner too on these guys. Not as easy for me to notice though. But I don't think there's anything I really do. I'm out of money. I'm not really exactly getting a lot more money for a little while, not until these guys finish upgrading. Apparently, I won't be able to upgrade any of these until I get particular upgrades for them. And I'm not, which the things I'm doing is not going to do that. Okay. So we'll just have to end turn and see if they attack us. I'm going to try to keep both this part and the part I'm recording next, and like a little bit under an hour. Because I know I've been doing hour-on episodes, and those could be fun. But there's also probably a bit more of a slog to get through than maybe something that's only 40 to 50 minutes. Which means I'll probably, unless there's a battle, I'll probably end in the next turn or so. But yeah, we can't, I think the AI is we can't attack him, but I can't attack back. So we're kind of in a position where it's we're just staring at each other right now. Until, if I attack, I might win, but it'll be a very difficult victory. But if they attack me, it should be very easy for me to win. But the longer it goes, the more they're going to weaken my garrison, which is just extremely inconvenient. But it looks like Colchis is on the move, however. And looks like they're going to attack Phasis. So they got looks like some decent spearmen, hillmen. So their infantry looks like they're going to be pretty strong. Most of mine are militia. So there's that. One thing I could do to weaken the AI... No, let's not do that. And one thing I could do is the AI is I can, set it to control a large army off. If I do that, then that puts them at a bit more of a disadvantage, but I'm going to just control large army. Because I want my entire army ready for fighting, at the start. Alright, so we're going to have to hold the streets. We definitely will have to go around in flanks as best we can. Both sides seem to only have 1 cavalry unit. I might have actually 2. I don't think the garrison had a cavalry unit. I could be wrong. And I don't know how strong these units over here are. They look fancy, but looking fancy and being fancy is not quite the same thing. So, let's see, they're coming in from this direction. So there's a big open area here that I would like to avoid. So I'm going to probably try and fall back into here and kind of funnel them into these 3 choke points. rather than focusing on these ones. So what we're going to do is, to kind of follow that idea, is I'm going to put a barricade here to block off this flank. Then we're going to put a bunch of spike traps here. Because no matter what angle they pick, they're going to be going through here, whether they go through here or to here. So having those spike traps will be just super nice for that one. They could come through here a little bit, and that is one thing I'm worried about. But I do have a way to slow that down. Is I'll put a barricade here, and then behind the barricade, I will put slow stones here. That'll buy me some time, and I'm just going to put these spike traps essentially here to block them off and weaken them as they kind of move in. And then to weaken any cav charges further from coming in, I'm going to put spikes there and caltrops here. That'll make it so cavs less likely to come directly at me from that direction. And I could buy myself even more time if by placing barricades in convenient locations. So I do have to be careful about putting too many barricades, or else that could slow down my own troops. And I can't use barricades to defend myself. I have to just they're just there to kind of slow them down. So I'm tempted to put a barricade on this side here. That way to break them down, but my only concern with doing that is the fact that if I want them to come down this area here, so if that kind of dissuades them, that will kind of be a problem for me. And I'm probably going to I'm going to put up a barricade to block off this flank over here. The reason why is I don't want them coming around here, and if there's going to be coming from behind, I want it to be over here. Go around here, basically slowing down enemy movement as much as possible. So our strongest units are going to be these guys over here. Because they should be flat up. Yeah, they're slight. Actually, apparently my militia hoplites are better. Well, in some respects, they're better. They're better at melee defense, but they have lower armor and morale. So there's a bit of a trade-off between them, it looks like. I don't like the brimstone stuff, because I usually find them to be surprisingly weak for what they are. But one thing I can do, maybe, is I'll put it on this flank here. And have a unit of citizens just waiting there to weaken that, to set it off. And I'll have one unit of militia sitting here, just right behind the barricade, ready to hold the line. And what I do not want an exact line like this. What I want is actually one that's a bit angled. The reason why I want it a bit angled is that I'm hoping that this will allow me to put archers in a good position. Oops, I did not mean to do that. It'll allow me to put archers on the flanks. If I could, and I'm going to try and position my archers here with my melee infantry defending a little bit more forward here. That way they can fire into the flanks of these guys that are over there. Which means I want my last unit of hoplites holding one of the harder places to defend, which is this area here. On the bright side, it will weaken any cav charges that come at them due to the spikes. So that's a major benefit there. They will be, however, be a bit more up and vulnerable. So I do need to keep that in mind. But you'll give me some valuable firing into this flank here.
Missiles awaiting targets.
As for my cav units, I'm going to need to have them really far in the back and hidden, preferably, because that way they can either go around this flank and charge here, or try and go all the way around here and help with this flank. I will, however, want another unit of spears here to hold. In case they break through here and I need to fall back my archers, I do want another unit to hold this flank. Following that logic, I also will have a unit back here waiting to and basically his job will be to just wait, and in case somebody tries to go around the back, he can kind of hold the back, and if nothing goes there, then nothing goes there. And I'm actually having this thing of brimstone here, if I can fit it. Brimstone. Brimstone, there we go. It was being really weird. It won't let me place it. I guess it's the only place I can place is there. That'll have to do. And we'll have the citizen cavalry ready. This is not the citizen cavalry. These citizens in position to set it off, and then have them run back behind the lines safely. This guy I'm going to have over here because there's a high chance they'll try to attack through this barricade, in which case I'll position him up here to hold the flank. These guys, meanwhile, have over here. One about here and another one over here. Their job is to basically just be my flex melee infantry. And here I'm going to try having these guys about as close to being able to flanking shot as I can. Into this flank over there. These guys are... I'm going to try putting them here. Actually means I'm going to move these guys a bit too. Move them back. And fire it over there. So it's going to be... I think this is the best defensive formation I'm going to get. So... I'm going to set these guys all into defensive mode. Guard mode, I mean. Oh, I completely forgot about those ships, guys, too. I'm just going to land them. I was thinking, and then maybe I'll have them, like, over here, ready to, like, flanking fire. They can be seen, though, so they know that they are, where they're going to be landing and that kind of thing. It's hard to hide a ship, okay? Oh, what the... I completely forgot about these units. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about them. I completely did not think about it. That's funny. Itchy, sorry. Now, it looks like the enemy cav is assigned to try and come down this... Oh, it's a missile cav. That's interesting. That means I'm gonna... Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, that means I need to fall back my citizens to get out of their range and not be punished too heavily. There we go. Now it's forcing them to do that. Let me pause this real fast, just to get an idea of what the situation is. Yeah, once these guys go here... Man, they're breaking through the barricade. Yeah, they're starting to damage it. Like, a couple units are actually getting through and firing. And my that's actually kind of funny. Yeah, there's actually a decent amount of units on this flank. A bit more than I was expecting, but it looks like a large chunk of them, especially with the Colchis army, are coming down this flank. If they end up not going at all this route, I can always reposition these troops elsewhere. Like holding this side here. Actually, what I'm going to do is reposition these archers on this, using this new information that we got going on here. Alright, I gotta keep an eye on that barricade strength. Once that barricade strength starts dropping, once it starts dropping enough, then I plan to light the fires. Yeah, they've hit a decent amount of the traps. Not all of them, because they're not going the flank I was hoping they were going to go down. But we're going to at least be able to make use of this situation to start getting archers in position. And it looks like they are now repositioning their troops to try and move towards where the archers are, which means these citizens need to start getting in position now. Or as they call themselves, mobs. Alright, let's start lighting the fires, because they're starting to sneak on through the gaps. Run, you fools. Fly, you fools. Yeah, it looks like we're getting some valuable firing into their sides now. And it does look like they're going to try going around this flanking side here. And our general, meanwhile, gets to screw up their general. It looks like we'll fall back these archers because they won't be useful in this comp battle anymore. Yeah, the Colchis general should be kind of wiped out by my own unit, by my general here. And I'm gonna have to reposition this guy over here now. And yeah, I know our general's under attack. I sent him into battle. It looks like these guys are getting ready to try and push into this garrison area here. Yeah, it does look like now they're starting to push in here. I'm going to... It's a bit late. It's actually a bit too late for that. Never mind. I was thinking of trying to reposition my troops up front, but I don't think they'll make it in time. Yeah, they won't make it in time, so I'm going to have to fall back the archers. And the mob broke, not too surprising. So our general is slowly just dealing with their general. Yeah, they've decided to start flanking around here. You guys can keep moving. You guys don't need to be stuck there. Alright. Alright. So we're going to start layering our defenses now. Actually, that one you won't even get into position in time, so we just need to start moving up our troops. Oh, come on, why aren't you listening to me? There we go. That unit's holding. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I want you guys here. Let me try and slightly change up the way that this formation is. It's not quite as good as it could be. Excuse me. Reposition that best we can. And this unit's slowly kind of being pushed in now. Now this unit, though, is in a perfect position for me to flank and wipe it out without any difficulty, which is good for me. Which means these archers I'm going to have hold their fire best I can. And the bigger threat is in a different direction than what I had originally expected. But on the bright side, it looks like most of the traps activated nicely. The enemy I just killed the Colchis general. Good, good. Let's see, there's only one spear unit here, and it's kind of just waiting around. So I'm going to start moving my general up here. Here, meanwhile, there's a lot more troops on the enemy side. And they have started to break through the barricades. So much, the archer fire is quite punishing. There's actually a unit of archers charging into the middle, which is kind of funny. Yeah, the first hoplite unit has fallen in the front lines there. I'm gonna start moving this unit forward. Not quite enough to be in melee, but enough that way I can position another unit of hoplites behind him. Yep, exactly. Meanwhile, these guys, I'm going to move up here. Yeah, meanwhile, that unit's going to be wiped out pretty easily by a cav charge. There's not enough of them to put up a fight. They're not even properly braced. They're like just about to get braced, but not quite enough to get braced.
Right, quickly now. Forward.
So unfortunately, due to nearby reinforcements, I wasn't able to make time to fully finish them off, so I kind of fall back now.
Lights at the ready.
Now, meanwhile, over here, these archers are getting some decent fire, some decent amount of damage off, because there's just such a mass of them, though. It's going to be a bit hard. Yeah, the biggest threat they have is honestly the hillmen. The hillmen can kind of chunk through hoplites pretty effectively.
Militia. Ready and waiting. Officers.
Now, that unit's going to be wiped out, which is going to be good for me, because I can start moving up archers to get better flanking shots here. Yeah, they're slowly breaking down the barricade.
Citizen hoplite. Militia. Move out. At the double.
I'm adjusting the formation a little bit more to try and make it as efficient as possible.
Pikes ready.
For some reason that's not where it's supposed to be. There we go. Alright, there we go. With this flank one, I'm going to start moving this unit up here, and I'm going to start moving these archers to have a better flanking shots into that unit over there. What I do is something like this, probably.
Advance at speed.
And then this unit will be now free to basically join this line of, oh shit, they're coming. Alright,
Advance at speed. Understood. Deliver orders.
I'm actually gonna fall this unit back. It's not gonna be able to hold the line very effectively on its own. Alright, looks like they're not coming around this flank at all, so I'm gonna start changing up the I'm gonna try changing up this formation actually,
Militia.
before the enemy can engage.
Advance at speed. Yes, Commander.
Yep, I do need you guys to do what I'd ask you to do now.
Militia.
And I'm gonna fold these guys back here.
Citizen hoplites. Militia. Citizen hoplites.
They did a good job doing what I needed them to do. These guys, meanwhile, I'm gonna have reform now. Alright, this flank, however, is become the weakest flank now. The one I was initially the least concerned about is officially the one I'm now the most concerned about. But once these guys get in here, I will be in a very good position to kind of wipe them out. So I'm going to start repositioning my cavalry to kind of make it ready for that. Well, that Greek citizen unit came back from routing. That's kind of funny. I was not expecting that. Yeah, these three are now good. They're starting to push in now. This is where my main defense is going to be. Oh, you're not in phalanx. I just realized that. Alright, these guys are getting some value with their positioning. I need these guys now to be more like, there. That might be valuable. I think that might be the best spot for them. Something like this where they can kind of fire into that big mess of enemies. Alright, these guys are fully out of ammunition, so I'm just going to fall them back now. Guard mode, good. Alright, these guys are all out of ammunition, so I'm going to start falling back this position now. Just a little bit more defensive, and I'm going to start repositioning this guy to hold over here. In case it falls back. Oh, the hoplite unit's gonna. That mob unit's gonna lose. Looks like. All right. Looks like the enemy's now starting to push over here. No, I still kind of need to dedicate to more than one here for now. Alright, we're gonna fall this guy back here before it gets swamped. I think that's as dedicated as they're going to be. Let's try to get a good charge off if possible. Any unit that we can wipe out is going to be good for us. What archers still have ammunition? Very few of my archers still have ammunition. This is going to be a tough fight. I said I would like this episode to be about only 40 to 50 minutes long. Now it's going to be well over an hour. Oh, I apologize for you two guys. I did not mean to make it this long. But hopefully you guys are at least getting it somewhat interested. There's one thing that's always a little bit awkward about getting rear charges in a fight like this is sometimes the Cav AI doesn't always get into charge position properly. Which is always which is a somewhat common problem. Like for example, the pathing is not going where I think they're going to go. Instead, they're going right there. But they do get a nice charge off, but not quite as like smooth as I would have wanted it to be. And I could honestly start to. All right, I'm gonna start needing to move this guy into position there. You three. Hold them off for a moment. We need him to get time for that guy to get in position. That was a really good rear charge there. I'm going to start following them back now. Yeah, they got a few kills off on that rear charge. Alright, once they are positioned in, we will get off another rear charge. Yeah, because they're such a big blob, so like they can actually kind of break away from the front without too much difficulty, which I kind of find funny. Alright, they're dying to buy me time to get these hoplites in position. They did that so far, so good. I can start sandwiching these guys. Actually, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna move a little bit forward and aggressive to make use of them throwing their units away like this. So far, so good there. Yeah, this flank is starting to fall apart now with these rear charges going off, and they're shattered. They're not just broken; they've completely shattered for the most part. This one is actually more of an exception than the rule, and it's just kind of funny. All right, I'm gonna fall back these citizen cavalry now before they start taking too much damage. Turn around and finish them off. They are exhausted, so that's actually a pretty big benefit for us. But yeah, they should get swarmed. I'm surprised that big ass blob didn't just get obliterated right there. I don't quite know what happened, why that didn't happen. There we go. I think that one just broke it. Oh no, they're still in the fight. Never mind. I thought. This is one of the problems with the way that way some of the unit designs are, is that most of the enemy is way over there, but for some reason the pathing of the units thinks they're in a completely different direction. This is what they go wherever where the banner is, which is where the game says that they are. But that's not actually, even if it's not actually the case. Thankfully, sometimes they register that and they get to charge position anyways. Now, these archers doing exactly what I need them to do. Now, the AI is kind of just letting me encircle this unit, which is going to be good for me. Did I accidentally push an extra unit forward? I did not mean to push an extra unit forward if I did. Where's this unit? It's gone. Alright, General, you fall back. Companion Cavalry, you fall back, and we'll do more rear charges. We're doing a good. So far, we're completely clearing up this flank, leaving mostly just this flank left. Alright, come on, misters. Now what I'm doing is I'm just moving this guy up to cover this flank as I'm about to rear charge these guys. And basically that guy's job is to stop them from doing it. Honestly, if they had, like, you know, actually pushing with more of their troops, this fight would be a bit more difficult. But as it kind of stands, I'm just getting off, like, I'm maneuvering my troops, flanking around them, defeating them. To sheer strength and stratagem. Which actually also, on the flip side, also making this fight take a lot longer than it needs to. I'm gonna start falling back this unit. We'll retake our initial defensive position. Where are these guys going? What the fuck just happened there? Oh, they don't have guard mode. They're gonna get caught. That's gonna be an unfortunate loss of units there. I'm gonna start ordering my general around here. I'm gonna keep this companion cavalry back over here. This will fall apart pretty quickly, and I'm gonna move this unit over here. That will probably be good enough. Now, these guys did lose about 8 units more than they probably needed to, but not the end of the world. Now, once I clear up this guy, I'm gonna leave one unit here just more of a kind of a just in case unit. I look at all these dead units over here. The formation's was kind of off. I don't know why it's that weird. We're getting good. We got a good surround there. This general's gonna have to run if he's gonna catch up, though. I kind of need to stop these guys actually from getting a flank off on my own units flanking. So I'm gonna send these archers in against their archers in that one unit. Alright, looks like we broke him on this flank. Which one's the most healthiest over here? You take up the position in the front here. You can fall back. You can fall back too. I'm gonna say go there and then charge. And that unit's gonna break. Citizen cavalry. Right, that archer's did a good job holding. Run! Why are you walking?
Companion cavalry. Charge!
Let's see. Once I get in position, I'm gonna inspire. Closer, a little bit closer. Inspire. The battle is always in our favor, foolish AI. Honestly, let's see.
Hoplites! Hoplites ready!
The AI is really running down the timer right now.
Hoplites!
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this kind of section of the fight has the kind of the same dance. They engage, but not enough. Because I'm then instantly able to put myself in a position to just flank them and wipe them out that way. It's quite nice of them to do this for me.
Citizen hoplites! Archers! Commander! Advance at speed! Light infantry at your command! Citizen cavalry! Archers! The brave, ready for orders! Ready!
Alright, we got a unit withdrawing over here. Weak units. Weakness shall not be forgiven. But yeah, this should be a pretty easy fight over here. They'll slowly be kind of pushing them in. But I have a technically flanking unit. What? Oh, did the unit I sent over here to hold that flank route? Is that what that one was? I thought it was a different unit. It might have done that. That or I accidentally told it to go somewhere and it... Oh. And something happened. I don't know what happened. I'm kind of changing up the formation that way they don't get caught as they're trying to move them. Yeah, that unit's gonna get wiped out. Alright, well that flank has successfully been held. I'm gonna reposition this guy up here and I'm gonna take these two wounded archers who did a great job. Move it over here. Ah. Form phalanx, hold. Nice. Now they finally actually, dedicating their troops to the battle. Took them long enough. Yeah, we just won this fight. My flanking archers didn't even have time to get into position before they broke. I wonder why the AI just doesn't dedicate their units to the fight. I need these guys to keep pushing along with the flanking units, or else my flanking units will become the primary forces. I don't want that, so I'm just ordering them to keep up the assault. I'm gonna try and speed this up. This battle's already taken a lot more time than I was planning on it taking. I still have time to record the Byzantine episode, but I might not have as much time to do my exercises as I would normally take. These guys are kind of like cycle charging almost. I think this unit will kind of need to form a phalanx itself now. Alright, now I can dedicate my unit to start flanking. Alright, this is the final section of the fight. I'm gonna start getting the just in case I need reinforcements back. Move a little bit closer to the front lines. But this part just is kind of devolved now into a knockdown drag out kind of section. You're winded while you are fresh. So you guys, I want you guys to walk. You guys, meanwhile, can kind of get a nice rear charge off there. Keep pushing up, men. We want to keep up the offense. Yeah, that arch unit's gonna rout, so I'm just gonna move my men around it. With the exception of the one I sent to engage. Oh yeah, finally! This battle took like 20 minutes or something. Yeah, 31 minutes this battle took. Damn. My general got 460 kills. I wonder how much the other cavalry unit got. That's a lot of kills. Oh, yeah. Superior, as you can see, superior strategy and unity control wins you these battles. I think the AI, honestly, like, Theo was a bit smarter. Well, I don't think they would have won necessarily. Well, you're defending a city, and it's pretty easy to defend a city. But I think they at least would have done more to hurt me if they actually fully engaged with their troops. They just sat on their hands under their butt and were like, "What do you mean we need to attack? If we just stare at them funny, we win." You know, that's not how it works. You need to actually attack. At least that's one of their doom stacks gone. And this army actually looked like it could have been a threat if properly utilized by the AI. But the AI is not exactly known for properly utilizing anything. That's one reason why I really want to do a head-to-head thing in this battle. Yeah, now Colchis, I think that should be completely wiped out now at that point. But I will start doing my little end turn thing, my end of video now. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. I apologize for this episode being super long. Maybe you guys liked it. If you guys liked that, great. It was just like a very nice long battle at the end there to kind of go things off. Because there was some battles here, but not one that was super big. That was probably our biggest battle so far, at least the longest battle we've had so far, I think. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.